good here. Let me just do my typical test. Testing this audio. That looks good to me. Now let's test this audio and this camera angle. Okay, folks, it's been a few days, admittedly. Really busy the last few days. Unfortunately, didn't get a lot of time to work on this stuff here. So, but in those few days, I have accumulated a few goals for the next couple days here. And there's a few new things going on in the shop that I kind of wanted to test out on stream and talk to you guys about, which will enhance this whole project. So first, since the last video, we worked on our Echo mic situation. So just an update on that. It did not work, but just because here, and I have a PLA version of the spring. I did print this in PPS-CF, but it's extremely stiff. So first thing we're going to do today is we're going to adapt this, make a much more flexible spring. We're basically just going to make it a lot smaller or a lot thinner, and maybe make the loops actually bigger on this. So we're still going to be working on this. I never got to really test it out because I couldn't even assemble it. So that's going to be the first step today. I did end up printing a few parts in both PLA and PPS-CF, so we can try and see what the difference is. My hunch is actually that the cup out of PLA will be better because it's a little more flexible, so it should react to the speaker a little bit better, maybe, hopefully. We'll see. But the spring, I think PPS-CF makes sense because we want tension there. What else? What else is new? The biggest thing that's new that I've been trying to figure out for, like, honestly, months. I knew getting into all this PPS-CF and engineering filament stuff that drying the filaments and being able to anneal parts was going to be a huge factor in all of this. And up until the last couple days, I have not had a way to do that because I don't want to use my home oven to dry my filaments, especially this like PPS-CF stuff, which I don't really want to cook my food in an oven after putting that stuff in it. So I've been looking for something I can use as an oven, and unfortunately I have a big roll of PPS-CF, 3-kilogram roll that does not fit in most toaster ovens, which I have so many toaster ovens I could have used, but they just don't fit. But I found something. And I was with my wife at Value Village, and we were in the parking lot, and I was just, scrolling through Marketplace trying to find something because I live in a small town, so every time we go to the bigger town where there's more stores and stuff, I also look through Marketplace because people generally have more stuff there. And I was just like, I'm not finding anything that I'm going to be able to use. And she said, just manifest that there's going to be something in this Value Village, because Value Village is just a place full of random stuff, so it's really easy for the universe to just put something in there that's going to be perfect. And lo and behold, we walk in there, and I find this. Let me switch my camera angle here. Okay, and the audio is going to be a little noisy because I have my oven running, and it's a crazy setup. It is, let me just We still good? Okay, sorry, it froze for a second. So I found this. This is a Flavor Wave oven. And basically all it is a heating element with a fan. And I don't really know what it's for, but it's just like, I mean, you can see here, it came with a manual and everything. You know, you could cook a bird in here or whatever. But it has good temperature settings, and it was too small to fit anything, so I just stuck it on top of this big stock pot. This is just a random one I had laying around. I guess it'll be dedicated for this now if I'm using this, but we'll see. That's easy enough to wash. But I have a little thermometer in there. And sorry if the audio gets really bad here, but just bear with me. So I have a little thermometer in there so I can read the actual temperature of what's going on in there. It's a little low. We're at 100 C right now, which was great for drying. But I'm actually trying to anneal a part in there right now. And you can see it kind of turns on and off, and that's sort of how it maintains temperature. It's nothing fancy. But what I love about this is just like a, you know, it fits my big spools really well. And I can just toss this thing on to a big pot like this to get more space away from the element. Because if I did it with that's like the normal base for it. If I put my spool right in there, the element would be right above the spool, which I don't think is good. So this way gives it much more distance away from the actual element, and I think it's going to be good. So we're actually going to be able to try some stuff, because I have been having some issues with this PPS-CF stuff. Mostly this like weird, like pimpling stuff that's going on. So I'm going to see if actually being able to dry this filament properly is going to solve those issues. And that's the goal. But I'm just trying to anneal a part right now. We will definitely be incorporating this into our video moving forward. Hold on. I don't know why it's zoomed in so much now. Why is it zoomed in so much now? Okay, I'm going to plug this back in. We'll see if this fixes it. But I'm also going to just go back to this camera. And this audio, because this is much nicer. So, oh, there we go. Anyways, so that's where we're at with that. I'm really excited about that thing. I don't know how it's going to work. This is literally the first time I've tried to put anything in it. I printed 2 new tuning forks, so they're identical. I'm annealing one, and the other one I'm going to leave plain, unannealed, and we'll see if that makes a difference with the tone, and I suspect it will. But how much of a difference is what we're testing out, which we want to see. So there's that. The other thing you could see right there. Gosh, it's so hard to point. Right there on that shelf, you see all those discs. So those are pieces I printed from my world's smallest kick drum video, and all of them were technically failures because I was not able to do the kick drum yet. I'm still working on that now. But those pieces, I'm going to play around with those as well to get some different 3D printed effects by clipping this new contact microphone that I just got. So I got a new contact microphone that I can actually just clip onto stuff. So much more convenient than that other one that I had to stick on. And this also, the other one was just breaking, and like I just needed a new one. So this is another cheap little $12 contact microphone. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to be trying to build like chambers and stuff using all of these little guys and all the shells and stuff that I've made to play around with, like trying to get distortion and trying to get EQ into this song using a 3D printed mechanism. So we're going to be doing a lot of that. I'll probably do that on the music channel, because when I do some music stuff today, that's sort of what I want to play around with. I think that's pretty much it. Always evolving around here, always changing. Everything's constantly. I'm constantly trying to improve my processes and whatnot. Still learning a ton, and yeah, that's just I mean, that's the best part of all of this, in my opinion. Oh, how's that still hot? I made that hours ago. Okay, but for now, let's focus on. Oh, you can see I was learning how to anneal there. let's focus on just getting this spring printed because I really want to test this out today. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this spring smaller while simultaneously bigger, if that makes sense. So I just got to find the sketch that is the spring itself. What? Oops. Is that the sketch, or do I gotta? Okay. Oh, it's there. Okay. So let's start here. I'm very this normally it's been a few days, so I'm a little bit lost, if I'm being entirely honest. So let's try and just kind of, okay, here we go. Perfect. So I'm going to extend this like quite a bit. Boom. No. That's not what we want, is it? Now what if I fix this? Why am I not able to? I really don't. Like, I should get much better at learning how to... oops. I should get much better at learning how to make these parametric so I can just change parameters, but a lot of the times when I'm in the design mode, I don't have the sort of forethought to do that, because I always think everything I'm doing is going to work first try, and it never does. Okay, so let's move this over. Let's move it over 13, which is what we had. Yeah, 13. Boom. And then I want to move this over. That's just going to move it back, right? So how do I thought I could just fix... Oh, yeah, okay. That's why. We're not in the sketch. Here we go. Oh, God. So dumb. Fix, and then... Oh, okay, so we're going to move this over 13, so we're going to move this over 26. Boom. No, another 13. So 39. That seems right. Okay. So 15 plus... Okay, wait, I'm doing this all wrong. Sorry, everybody. This is not going great. Okay. So if I make this 30, okay. How far over does this have to move then? .5. That kind of makes sense, right? .26. Is that it? Is that all I have to do? Oh, yeah, look at that. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of finessing, you know. Something weird happened here. But that's okay. Do something crazy. Oh no, it's going the wrong way. All right, let's just get rid of this little guy. So yeah, we're just making this bigger. We're just making this a bigger. Two. Right, that's right. And then obviously we can get our top cup. That's looking good. We can extrude. Okay. I'm actually going to bring this back. This doesn't need to stick out that far. It only needs to stick out that far. No. Let's just leave it. Let's just leave it like that. I do so much of this by vibes alone. Like I was thinking leaving it long is just going to let it vibrate, but then also making it short is going to make it vibrate on this side. I don't know. Okay. So we have that. Let's just leave that for now. A little bit of vibration's kind of okay because that's where we can get some distortion going on, in theory. Okay, now let's sketch on top of this. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line from here. Yep. Draw a line going straight through. Yes. And then we're going to go like this. We'll make this 8 millis. Boom. Then we'll mirror this. This will all make sense in a second here. Okay. Now, I'm going to... This is kind of just like a quick way I'm going to do this. I'm going to extrude that up. And I'm going to extrude this one up 1 mil. Boom. Turn off my sketch. And that will allow me to extrude this down. -3. Right? I'm actually going to go like this and go 2 sides. And then I can extrude this -3. Boom. Oh, printability. Printability, guys. See, this is actually not going to work because I can have a spring that's not even though. I think I can have a spring that's not even. So let's do that. Let's just go like this. We'll just make a spring that's uneven. And so then instead of going -3, we'll do -6. It's just going to look like that. It's going to be weird. But I think weird is okay. And then I'm going to fillet this. As well as this. Let's fillet it. Let's fillet it 5. And then I'm going to extrude this and this back down to here. And then we can do one more fillet here and one more fillet here. Okay, so one of the issues I was having is, I could show you actually. So I realized after I printed all this stuff. So this is the tube, right? And it's supposed to have 2 cups. Now see, these are really rough. It feels kind of nice, to be honest, but anyways, I think that's the issue with the filament isn't dry enough. So the problem is I need to somehow get the spring attached onto this without, you know what I mean? Like I can screw one side on, no problem, and it sticks out like this, but how do I get the other cup screwed onto here and still, you know what I mean? Like, is it just me, or is that like, because once I put this on, I don't have access, really. I don't really have access to get into there. So it's making me kind of reconsider the design a little bit. Instead of doing 2 cups, or I guess I can do 2 cups, but just have one this way. Sorry. I guess I could have 2 cups. Or maybe just a flat thing. I think maybe just a flat membrane is the key here. A flat membrane will be a lot easier. I think we're going to do that. I'm going to do a flat membrane instead of a second cup on the backside. And then that'll give us some options to try. So, so here's what we're going to do. Because originally I had... Wait, what? Where are my bodies? Oh, bottom shell. Okay. Yeah, so originally I had it like this, and basically it was going to screw onto the bottom of that, and then somehow I have to get this bottom shell on there. So instead of doing the bottom cup, I'm going to keep this shell that I've already printed, and we're going to do... I should make the spring longer then, if I want to keep this. Sorry, I know this is bad. This is bad. This is like real bad content. Weird, I can't select my stream on here. Anyways. Or yeah, basically I need to somehow attach something to that. I have my two shells like this. A long screw would be good too. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say, right? Like, assembling this is the issue. Because I can't get my hands in here. I can barely get my hands in. I mean, I guess I kind of can, but there needs to be tension on the spring inside. So I need the spring to be stretched longer than it comes off the printer. So imagine this is our spring. I need to somehow attach it to one side of the cup. Boom. Not this cup, but any cup. I need to attach it to this. That's easy. Stick a screw through there. Done. But then I need to take this, get it inside the tube, which one tube is fine, right? Because if I go one tube, and you can imagine the spring is still attached here, it sticks out good. But then I have to attach this other side of the spring. Oh god, I had screws in there. Oh no. Okay. Then I have to somehow attach this side of the cup to this side of the spring and pull it so that the spring is under tension, all while this is sitting around it. How do I do that? I'm genuinely asking, how do I do that? If I made the spring... Okay, wait, let's make the spring longer. Let's see if I can just make the spring longer, first of all. Because what I'm thinking is, instead of doing a cup that goes in, that I have to reach my hand into the tube and try and, like, you know? Instead of doing that, what if I made the spring come up to this height-ish? And then instead of a cup that comes all the way deep like this, I just do a flat membrane. I think that'll be a lot easier, because I won't have to try and get my hand in there. I could kind of like theoretically scoop the spring out like this, get a little screw in there, attach my plate, attach my membrane plate to that, and then ideally once I let go, it'll pull the plate up against there. Or I do a tube that's open. If I have a long screw, then this will be a lot easier. Let me just take a quick look at my stockpile here. I'll take you with me, actually. I'll take you with me because I can now, because I'm becoming quite the streamer, I think. Here, one second. Ha. Sorry. It's not working. Give me 1 second. I plugged my phone in to charge. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay, no, it just took a second. Bear with me. It's very messy over here. This is the screw. This is the screw I have. Real small. Real short. So I'm looking for this, but way longer. I might have something. It's Kiki. Dust. Sitting by the fire. Okay. So I've got some stuff lying around here. Is that literally it right there? That might literally be it. Normally I have to really search through this stuff. Okay. Okay, we're done. Well, that was easy. That was a lot easier than it usually is. Hopefully that's an indication of how this day is going to go. Hopefully that is an indication of how this day is going to go. Okay. So now, actually, sorry, I'll go back to, oh God, I need a stream deck or something. So now that we have a much longer screw versus this tiny little one, I should be able to use the screw to add tension. Okay, so here's another issue. I can't get this screw in here. But is that going to be a problem with this new spring design? No, I think I should be able to get a screw in there. But just to be safe, let's add a chamfer. Let's add a chamfer. C should be chamfer, I think. Right? Okay. I think I should be able to get this screw in there. Just like, that should be fine. And maybe just to be extra. Nah, let's go with that. I can always drill that out if I need extra room. But now, with the screw coming through like this. Oh, I didn't even show you. Anyways, it doesn't matter. On this spring, I can't get the screw in there, right? Obviously. But maybe with. Hi, what's up? Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll be there in a minute. Ideally, with this design, because our hole is like off center a little bit, which I don't think is going to matter, and I added a little chamfer there, I think I should be able to get the screw in. And then once the screw's in, it'll kind of sit like this, right? And then I should be able to get my membrane in there, and we could have this sticking through the cup like this, even if it's like relatively low on the cup, right? If the spring's like down here, and our membrane, I can get this hole, or I can get this screw through the hole of the membrane, thread this nut on, and then use this nut to stretch, to pull the spring up towards the membrane. In theory, anyways. So we're going to try that, but what needs to happen then is I need to make the spring long enough that the distance between this part and the top of the bottom shell is a little bit less than the length of our screw, which is, what are we talking here? 50 mils. So if I aim for 40 mil, 45 mil even, let's try that. Wait, how close are we already? So we're 76 mil. So I need to pop this up an extra 30 mils. An extra 30, 35 mils. Which, if we look at this and inspect between this pattern here, that's 20 mils. So maybe 2 of those. Let's go with 2 of those. Let's go with 2. This will make sense. If you didn't watch the last one, this will make sense, I promise. So we did 10 quantity repeated. Let's try 12. Boom! Look at that. And then hit OK. Everything got so messed up here, folks. Everything got so messed up here. but it's because I did a few other things. So let's go back to the beginning of all of this. Is it here? Went like that. Don't know what any of this is doing. Okay. So I tried to clean that up. Ignoring all that. God, I kind of suck at this. It's really hard to kind of retroactively fix this stuff I've learned. I'm gonna brute force my way through this quickly. I'm gonna brute force my way through this. So okay. Brute force my way through this. Gonna brute force my way through this. Gonna brute force my way through this. So we have two separate springs, okay? So we're gonna join those. Get rid of that little nasty feature. What was my chamfer on that? 3 mil? Or my fillet? Oh, I did 3 on all of them too, didn't I? Okay. That's nice, actually. Nice. And then I'm just going to extend this out. I don't know how much. Like, meh. Let's go 10. Okay, what did I do next? What? What does that mean? Delete that. Okay. And then what does this do? The hole. Okay, so instead of the hole being there, we want the hole to be up here. Boom. Oh, I missed a fillet there, didn't I? Boom. What's next? What's next? Don't know what that does. Oh, that was just me messing around. So let's delete that feature. Okay. Now this is where I drew our rectangle thingy. So let me just go ahead and add this. Boom. Finish. And then we're going to come over one feature. This is kind of like how I do things. When I need to backtrack, I just sort of scroll through the timeline. Oops. Just scroll through the timeline. For some reason it's... Why is it acting a funny? There we go. Excuse me. Okay. So now we're kind of back to where we started. And just to verify, 44.2 mils. That's perfect. That's perfect. Now, let's turn sketches off. Let's get rid of this top shell. If I scroll over one more, does this save us? No. But that's okay, because I think all I have to do is go like this, reselect that. Okay, boom. And then this, I have to select that, boom. Okay, that's our new spring. Let's fillet this guy. And let's fillet this guy and this guy. Boom. Oh, and then I have to add this chamfer. Here. Okay. So we're going to print this. I'm going to print this once again out of PPSCF, and hopefully we have... Oh, I need a little membrane too, don't I? So, for the membrane, it'll be real simple. It's going to be the thinnest possible, and again, I'll probably use PLA for this. It will be the thinnest possible, so let's do 80 there. The thinnest possible membrane with a tiny little hole. Let's just project this hole because I don't actually know. I don't remember what size hole I did. Finish. Turn sketches on. Turn our bottom shell on. So we're going to extrude this down like, I guess, 5 mils. Make that a new body. And then we're going to extrude this up. What is it? 0.2 mils. Okay. And then I need some way to attach a contact microphone to this. No, I don't. I'm just going to attach it to the screw that's going to stick through here. So that's it. So I'm going to print the spring out of PPSCF. I'm going to print the membrane out of PLA on my other printer. And I will report back with my findings. I'll probably assemble it on stream too. While this is printing, I'll head over to the music channel and record some more drums, probably do some effects, some little testing of stuff. But I'm feeling good about this. I think this is gonna, I mean, I actually have no idea because I couldn't even test this initially. But if this does work, I should be able to speak into the cone and hear some sort of reverb. And that'll be the first test, and then once I do that, then we can track some stuff and hear what it sounds like. But I think this will be cool. This is a really fun experiment. If this works, that's awesome. I don't know if anybody's tried to print reverb before, so that feels fun for me. Okay. Thanks for watching. Oh, yeah. I mean, whatever. We can set this up here. Let's get this stuff printed. So what do we got? Where is my spring? It's called Top Cup now? Why is it called Top Cup? Is it attached to this? They've become attached. Boom. And this is new spring longer. So let's save that as a mesh. Good. And then we're going to call this membrane. Save that as a mesh. And weird. And we'll hop over to Bamboo Studio. I've got, let's see, these were the 2 tuning forks I was printing for our test. But we're going to add our new spring longer. Boom. Lays down flat like that. Okay. We'll slice that. 50 minutes. Nice. That's a nice fast print. Okay. And then we're going to go to my other smaller P1S that's got some PLA loaded up. And we're going to add the membrane. Slice. Do I want to do this concentric? I feel like concentric might be a risk. Concentric might be a risk, so let's do... It's a monotonic line. Okay, let's do that. Right? That way, if there's some delamination between these layers, at least they're always supported across the circle. Let's try it. I want this to be as thin as possible, right? I want this to be like basically like a diaphragm on a gramophone, right? 12 minutes? Heck yes. I'll do 12 minutes. Okay. That's it. So we'll be back. I'm so excited to show you guys the results here. But until then, thanks for watching.